The Minister for Youth and Sport yesterday told the Public Accounts Committee of Parliament that his outfit will soon introduce a program to train the youth in how to repair broken down street lights across the country. Isaac Esiama, when he appeared before the Public Accounts Committee, said the program is aimed at providing jobs for the youth and more street lights to illuminate dark streets across the country. We'll be speaking to a Labour expert shortly. We'll also go to Parliament to speak to the Labour and Employment Committee. But before that, listen to the Youth and Sports Minister, Isaac Esiama.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There's another project that may interest members of this committee, street light project, What we have, street lights. What I've observed, and all of you are living testimonies, we purchase these street bulbs all the time, but lack of maintenance. 3 months, 6 months, they are off. Then we need to procure new ones. And it's affecting almost everybody here, members of Parliament and our MMDC. So what we are embarking upon is a project for young people, to train young people in how to repair street lights and maintain them across the country. So when we start that project, members of Parliament will be on board. So that some of you will bring people from constituencies for us to train them so that they become human resource, well-qualified people there for you to use anytime you have an issue with your street light. It's going to be a nationwide project we are going to embark upon. So, Chairman, we are ready to receive yours from.
Honourable Minister.
Sports. Now let's go to Parliament and speak to the Deputy Ranking Member of the Employment Committee, Richard Kwashiga, who's also Member of Parliament for Keta. Mr. Kwashiga, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Your initial response to Mr. Isaac Esiama is that this is a flawed initiative. Please list your reasons why.
Oh, thank you so much. I think that, yes, Honorable Esiama raised this issue at the Public Accounts Committee hearing yesterday. By the way he even put it out for me, it appeared it was an afterthought. Now you see, street lighting, a lot of our communities in themselves lack a street light. And so for what he is saying to even be plausible or effective, first of all, there must be a conscious effort to lead all our communities. Now, those areas that we have street lights, which tend to go off after a period, I mean, there will be a need to replace bulbs and etc., are things that are being done by assembly electricians. Because as a member of Parliament, I experienced this situation, and it is not rampant. And so, as at when there is a need, the assembly electrician is sent to this task. Then the assembly electrician is sent to this place to go and rectify the situation. Apart from that, the ECG staff and the ECG contractors, they also have some of their agents who are well equipped and well skilled in doing some of these things. And we engage some of them sometimes. As a member of Parliament, as at when I'm giving some number of street lights for my constituency, we engage some of these people who don't regularly get some of these jobs to undertake this exercise.
So if I understand you clearly, Mr. Kwashiga, your position is that there aren't enough street lights breaking down anyway. But haven't you seen, I mean, take the motorway, for example. Several of the street lights on the motorway do not work. You don't think this initiative will help solve that problem and create jobs?
Yeah, it is a matter of enforcement. There are already people in the system who are engaged by the various metropolitan assemblies and municipal assemblies who are supposed to be doing these things. So if they are not doing those jobs, it is up to the various assemblies, to enforce and to ensure that those staff are put to work.
Okay.
Rather than talking about a certain model or another program that is to train young people to maintain street lights. More so, I'm saying that PDS, GCD, which is not PDS, I should put it that way, they have a lot of contract staff, contract workers who day in and day out are engaged by people to do these things.
Okay.
But you see, my greatest worry is this. If Honorable Esiama is telling us or is saying to us that will be another mode of creating jobs, then he has missed the point.
Okay, Mr. Okashiga, hold your fire there for me, because I just want us to now take this conversation from a purely employment perspective, which Mr. Siama makes us all believe, or is making Ghanaians, attempting to make Ghanaians believe is the objective for this. Austin Game is a labor expert, and he joins in this discussion as well on phone. Mr. Game, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Hello, Mr. Game.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Right, thank you. I'm just talking to the Member of Parliament for Keta, who is also a member on the Employment Committee in Parliament. And he does not think that this initiative by the Sport and Youth Ministry to engage young people in street light fixing, you know, is actually a workable initiative. From a Labour perspective, do you see that this is a workable proposition?
Well, thank you so much. I think that if anybody or any group of people or ministry which will initiate a move to get people employed is a happy news, I'm sure, for everybody, especially we parents. But my genuine fear, in particular, reference to this business of the youth fixing street light, is of great concern to me. I do not know what category of youth is this. Are they people who had education by way of vocational training in electricity management of a kind, repairs and maintenance of a kind, and they are unemployed, and so they want to engage them to be doing it? Are they brand new youth people, either from some secondary school or unit in the country, who want to be, who are to be trained for the purpose? All this is fine though, because they will get job to do. Okay. Because by ILO definition, even 1 hour work is a gainful employment.
Right. So as far as you're concerned, and from your perspective, what we should be looking at is the categorization. When you say youth to work, to do this work, who are the youth you're referring to?
Well, because it's a risky job to get youth just trained 3 weeks or 1 month for them to fix a light, street light. That is my fear. Okay. Otherwise, the good initiative to enable people to get job to do, that would be highly commendable. Okay. And also the fact is that we've seen street lights. I live in Tema. We've seen street lights on the motorway and other parts of the streets in Accra, Tema, have all been stolen. If we fix it this time, are we going to police it to ensure that we'll have it? And will the job be sustainable? If it's not going to be sustainable, well, people can work for 1 hour, it's good job. Can work for 3 months on contract, it's good job. So let's categorize it well.
But there will still be unemployed youth.
Exactly.
Okay.
If they are told that the job you're going to do will last for 3 months, for 6 months, for 1 year, everybody make up his mind so that we'll have assurance that this is what it will be. Okay. But otherwise, if it's announced the way it's been announced, which I agree with, if it's not going to be sustained, it will become an albatross on all of us.
Next. So let me bring in the MP for Keta again, who is also the minority spokesperson for on the Employment Committee. Mr. Kwashiga, you've had the Labour perspective to this. Do you not see, as he sees it, that this could actually be a source of employment for the youth? And a lot of young people do not have jobs in this country. You don't see that that we should actually be looking into the details? Who are these people? Do they have skills? What kind of skills do they have? And how sustainable would this model be? Do you not agree with this position rather than completely rubbishing it as a flawed initiative?
Yeah, thank you very much. And I salute my big brother, Honorable Osman, and I welcome the comments that he's made. My argument is that we have lots of young people who over the years have acquired skills in that area as far as fixing street lights and little or petty electrical works are concerned. Now, when you go to the ECG, they have several contractors that work with them, and many of these people also have engaged unemployed youth who are working with them, who have acquired skills over time.
But we're not seeing the impacts of their work, are we?
I would imagine could be done would be for probably the Minister for Youth and Sports to say, okay, let's see how best we can harmonize it so that all these youth that are scattered in various places who are doing this particular thing, we can group them and sort of give them some formalized, probably formalized thing.
Okay.
That's the way I see it.
Well, you are on the Committee of Employment. Is this a position that you've shared with your colleagues to, you know, put into the plan?
You know, Honorable Siama just mentioned this, you know, yesterday when he was questioned at Public Accounts Committee.
Okay.
And the way he even put it out, for me, was not convincing. It didn't appear as though this was a well thought out, thought through a program. You see, we are having too many programs in this country under this government.
But that's because we have too many unemployed youth, don't you think?
We have too many unemployed youth. But then any program that we come up with should be well thought through, such that it will be sustainable, not a situation of, you know, we announcing something which we cannot do, of which we do not have a strategic blueprint to implement.
Very well, very well.
Here we are, even with the NAPCO, we all know what is happening to it.
Very well.
You know,
I'll take your final comment, Mr. Kwashiga, to wrap up, and then I'll come to Mr. Game to take his final comment as well. Mr. Kwashiga, the way forward, your final thoughts.
Yeah, my final comment.
The way forward.
All the programs that government has initiated for young people, these programs should be well thought through. We must have very effective strategic blueprints to ensure that these things work. Because we are realizing that many of these things that have been announced, many of these programs that have been announced are not really working, and therefore, if we announce a program and then we are unable to implement them, we are scratching the surface of the problem and we are not solving it. We are even aggravating the problem. We have so many issues that we need to talk about as far as youth unemployment is concerned. It is escalating, it is on the increase, and it doesn't appear that we are really addressing the problem. It is time to sit down and, you know, have, let me say, all stakeholders around the table to think through the best solutions. Even if an idea comes up by government or by a minister, they must bring together experts to think through it and see how best it can be.
It can solve the unemployment situation
for it to really fly.
Right. Mr. Kwashiga, thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Rich Kwashiga there, he is a Member of Parliament for Keta and also ranking member on the Employment Committee in Parliament. Austin Game is a Labour expert. He's still with us. Final comments, sir, on your thoughts on the way forward.
Thank you. Me, as far as I'm concerned, if devoid of the political cloud of it, anybody who can bring anything on board to help our youth to get jobs, I'm all out for it.
Yeah.
The problem is, if the program is not ready, we should just take our time, get the youth, or those who want them to be trained, let them be well trained, particularly in this particular kind of model, because it can be risky, and we do not want to have death on our hands.
Right.
Aside that, any way that we can assist our people, fine. The sustainability of it also should be thought of.
Okay.
And also they should inform those who want to participate in it that it will last 3 months, 6 months, 1 year, but they make up their minds before they get into it.
It should be clear to them what they're getting themselves into. It should be clear to them what they're getting themselves into.
Thank you.
Mr. Game, thank you so much for your time this afternoon. Austin Game is a Labour expert there helping us with that unemployment conversation.